Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to Let's Play Empyrion 1.6. I'm 7-Foot Dust Bunny, and today we have been able to sleep. There has been some time passed, and we are ready to bring in our new space base, which will be happening in this very sector near here. However, some shenanigans have gone on while in between episodes. Namely, we did have a pirate ship reappear, but it's a freighter tug. I tried disabling one, but then it's gone away and come back again. For some reason they seem to be respawning. But I also discovered out here there's a defense satellite, there's a Zirax station, there's salvage operations, and a few bits like that, as well as a CV, which we will have to deal with at some point in the near future. But right now we're going to have to bring in our base. The other order of business is going to be that we have this one ready to spawn in, our Nexus Spacedock, which is excellent news, but we also want to get started on our big fighter CV, which is hopefully going to help us to take a bit more damage to the legacy, and we might even use it on those stations out there. Is going to be this one, the pickaxe, which again is by Heckendiver. He's sort of been my unofficial sort of go-to for this series. There should be 20,000 there. And we're going to start racking in some of these goods. I'm not sure how much of that I need actually. We'll put 4k there and then see how much we actually need. But we're going to start by loading this one up ready to go, because there's 13 odd hours for that to go through. So there's a lot to be done. Zask and Erestrum are actually going to need about 2k more of each of those. Neodymium, another 4k should do it. So we're just going to quickly, just so people can see me loading this up to prove there's no shenanigans going on there. Oh, come game, don't be foolish. We'll chuck that there somewhere out the way. Yeah, we'll just load this up before we get started and chuck all these bits in. I reckon another 4k of that was going to be enough. I don't know how much iron I need. Hopefully that will be all of that, all of that, all of that. We'll chuck that one in and that should be plenty. We'll chuck that one in and that should be plenty. What else we got? Cobalt, about another 4k. Copper ingots, not a lot. Silicon, also not a lot. So copper ingots. We'll chuck some carbon substrate down just in case I need it. I didn't check. Silicon was absolutely bugger all. Cobalt wasn't that much. And there was something else which I have in my stocks, which I forgot I had in my stocks, because I'm going to need large optronic bridges and matrices. But instead of building these, I have a bit of a plan. Oh, is that not enough silicon? Damn your silicon! Okay, let's get that one done. Hopefully that'll be enough. So we'll bring that down. You should be enough. Yes. Carbon substrate, yes. We'll chuck that in. That's plenty. So I need 10 raw pentaxid for some reason. I'm not sure what actually requires raw pentaxid, but we'll chuck in a 10 raw pentaxid. It's not as if we have a shortage, so we can chuck that in. And anything else we need, we have wood plank stone dust. We don't need, but we need 8 large bridges and 4 optronic matrices. Now, obviously these require quite a few resources to make. I've probably got enough resources to make them, because I think I still have I thought I still had some gold to process. I do not. I don't think I've got any kicking around in the miner still. No. I think I have enough, but what I didn't realise, and I happened across during my travels here, is where is it the dump box? It's not the dump box, even though there's some pretty nifty stuff in the dump box, lots of those. Where are you? Output items. Output items? Nope. Where are you? I think it was in CV parts. There we go. We have 4 T4 extenders. Now these are base extenders, to be fair, and I probably should have used them on the base I've just done. However, I don't have a base to do now, and these should contain enough of those parts, which they do, and they also shaved a bit of time off. So that means start production, and that is done. We can disconnect that for now, and we're going to quickly go in the clipper. This is something I always find a little bit tricky, is going to be actually lining this up with how I want it to be. So we need to try and make sure the solar panels aim at the sun. I mean, I will actually, you can do this, is take a quick save, revert to it if you screw up putting your base in. But I don't want to be super close to this gas refinery, but I'd like to be sort of in the area. Now the sun, I believe, is right there, so I basically want this base to be pretty much where my ship is. So if I get out and stand here in the radiation and the freezing cold, I should be able, he says, to go to the library here and spawn in my dock. Now, as you can see, the solar panels face that way, so do you want to stick it about there? I know you should be able to move it around a bit here, like that. See, that is definitely the back of the solar panels. So what I'm doing here is like the block positioning buttons I'm using, and also I should be able to press O to align it to gravity, which is actually very helpful for a space base, because basically all your ships will align to O, to the same plane. If you press O, it sort of helps you level on a planet, but in space it aligns everything to like one plane. Now obviously here it's very handy if we can align everything to the same plane, and hopefully that means, oh god, I'm roughly aiming at the sun here. If I get it about there, I reckon it's probably, this is the trickiest bit. I mean, the other thing I could do is go this side of me and actually flip it around the other way, by doing that, which is also not a bad plan. I can away like that, and I can make sure I'm pretty much guaranteed to be aligned with the sun. I press the O key again just to make sure that it's holding position, and we will spawn it. And there we go. My space dock is in. And as you should be able to see now, if I put my ship like this nearby and pull up, and then I press O, I basically align to the same plane, which can be very handy for coming in and docking and things like that. So you can dock into these, and in we go. It's very dark. It doesn't appear to be powered up. I'm not sure if there's... Why have I just... What is going on there? I seem to have just fallen through my ship for some reason, which is a little bit strange. Elion, please fix. So yeah, I should be able to not fall through my ship. Now, as you can see, we're having the disco fashion going on, which means there isn't enough power here to currently power up and run everything, which is fine. What we'll do is we'll power down the shield, and that might help. But you also have this horrible issue that, yeah, it's getting a bit not able to cope, but that's fine. So before we go and take a bit of a tour around the place, we're going to back out, and I'll just nip back over to the Leviathan, which I could actually just bring the Leviathan over a bit. Come on, back me out. Thank you. So I've lost the Leviathan, which is over here somewhere. There you are. Not that far away. We can go over and we can bring the Leviathan a bit closer nearby, because we may want to unload some of our massive amounts of cargo onto this station. There's also the benefit of, I believe this station will, if it doesn't have, we can add a deconstructor, which has obvious benefits, and might be a little bit lighter than this station. We're currently knocking up quite a few fuel cells, which is one of the things we will be greatly needing for powering the base. Obviously the solar panels help, but the solar panels will certainly not do everything. Why are my shields off? So we'll bring this down. Now the other temptation I might have is that it might be possible to add more solar panels, because typically the game limits to we'll park over there. That may or may not be enough to reach it. I hope it will be. Yeah, typically the game has a limit of 15 solar panels, but one of the reasons I turn limits off is because I don't like that limit, because it seems very crazy to me that you would be limited on the number of solar panels you can put down. I understand they have a CPU cost. That's fine. That seems perfectly reasonable. My alignment parking is not great. I want lights better. Should have turned my lights on ages ago. And yeah, it seems unreasonable to me to be limited to gravity on, gravity off, gravity on, gravity off. So yeah, it seems unreasonable to me that it would be limited to that many solar panels, and that would actually, like I say, CPU cost. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12. We can actually stand to have 3 more anyway within the limits. Now, I wouldn't expect solar panels to power this base endlessly. And I'll have a quick jetpack fly around here. But to me, I could certainly live with having a few more. I don't quite know why they're not classed as picking up full. I would expect them to have been picking up 4 bars, but who knows with these things. But yeah, you could definitely probably stick on some more solar panels here and at least help the situation out, to help it just to tick over on its own without using too much fuel. As is, we've not got time for that right now. I want to do a quick tour of the base, so what I'm going to do is take some of those fuel cells I've been working on, fuel, and we are going to fuel up the space dock. Now I don't want to completely stuff myself on fuel. Oh, it took less than I thought. 100% capacity. There we go. So we have plenty of fuel now in here. And we are all fueled up. And we have gravity. And it's not gravity on, gravity off. So this is where he's tucked the solar capacitors. We'll go in as if we are going in from a ship. It's a bit dark in here. This seems like a big open area. And this is a huge sort of space dock zone. There is a meeting place here and everything, which is a bit surplus to my requirements. But, you know, I like it. It looks good. This looks like Sev's reception lounge. And then we can go up to the next level, which has a deconstructor, which I like this. There's bits of broken stuff ready to go in the deconstructor. So we have 2 deconstructors, and we have Derek here. Deconstructor Derek is busy checking on things, making sure the deconstructors are operating, which is nice. We have a nice power switch for them. I like this. Yoink. And here we have building land. We actually have less constructors here than we have on the Leviathan. But it's the deconstructors that are the big thing for us here. Furnaces are also incredibly handy, because furnaces are going to mean that our ore capacity or our ability to run through ores quickly is massive. I mean, this base is truthfully massive overkill for a single player. But I like the look of it and I wanted to bring it in. So, you know, so everyone can see it. We got some grow light switches here. We'll turn on the grow lights because I'll soon be starting a farm here as well. And you know, we'll have no shortage of food anytime soon. Next up, armor locker territory. Lots of armor lockers. I mean, normally I do tend to go for smaller bases. Like I say, this one is absolutely brimming. But I felt like a change. I feel like I want to shoot through that to find a secret corridor and see if there's a loot area here. So this is the docking bay, which we came in earlier in the big dome. I like this because there's one repair bay and leaves me able to have a couple of additional fighters, which I may actually do in the not so distant future. And this takes us up to the top area where you can control that. And Susan here, actually no, sorry Susan, you're Rachel. Repair Rachel, that's her name, and Repair Raquel. They're twins. They are all of that section. Let's go back down through. Let's see what else we've got here, because it has been a while since I actually looked at this one. Medical here. Yeah, we've got plenty of areas here for accessing these and building meds, putting them on. We've even got some cryo chambers. Access the cryo chamber. Unfortunately, unlike Space Engineers, you can't get in the cryo chamber, which I'd love to be able to do. I don't know why. We've got 3 medical stations. Again, seems a bit like overkill, but what I may end up doing is, depending on, I think we're really good on CPU on this anyway. Oh no, we're not. We're fairly close, but we could always trim that out to get a few more guns in. If we look in the gun department, I think we've got, let's go here, we've got flak and 15mm, so not a vast amount of armaments here. So this is one of the reasons I wanted to keep the area safe. We've got a lot of flak and a lot of milliguns, but it won't, you know, stave off a large attack. Teleporter station, which is always handy because this means I can teleport back to the Leviathan or over to the gas refinery. I'm back on the main reception area. I'm lost in my own base at the moment because this is massive. There's another reason I tend usually not to go for massive bases. So there's a lot of cargo storage here. But the beauty of this is it means that I can take some of the stuff off the Leviathan and really use that to make sure that... Look at it. Look at it all. Storage, storage, storage. And this is engineering, oxygen, and fuel, and pentaxid. I think I'm too far away from the Leviathan now to reach it, so I'll have to go back and put some oxygen in. What was down here? That is offline protection, which is basically useless for me at the moment, because obviously I'm in a single player game, and a gravity generator. Which the one gravity generator seems to have full coverage, which is quite good. And this looks like the computer control. We've got our CPU cores. And what's in here? Our main core with a nice bit of piping. Gotta love a bit of piping, and that's it. I mean, unfortunately, in like sort of a PvP scenario, you know, you just try and blow the bottom of the thing off and that would be it. But, you know, this isn't PvP, this is PvE. So the first thing we're going to do is get the shields up and running for starters. Let's see if... I think one of the best ways might actually be to jump onto the Leviathan and see if we can bring things directly across. The lazy man's route to the Leviathan, just because I love doing the teleporter thing. I don't get to use them enough as far as I'm concerned. So hopefully, Nexus Dock, no. So there's a slight, what I would call, oversight here, in that your CV can't actually really very well reach in terms of Wi-Fi. So this is where I like to do the following. We'll go for input materials, we'll put that into output items, and what we'll do is we'll build, if I can find it here, yeah, we'll have a couple of Wi-Fi units, and we'll straight away go in and start modifying someone else's build, because that's what I like to do. So I believe it's on this side. Yeah, something else that happened in Weird Shenanigans is somehow you'll notice my number 2 slot is empty. I don't know if it was when I went to collect water or somewhere else or something, but I've managed to lose my EMP Pulse Rifle. I've dropped it, which is really quite upsetting for me because it's basically my favourite gun. So that one's coming out. And my Wi-Fi unit is going in here. Like, come on, like so. Yes, thank you. Perfect. And that will enable me to have Wi-Fi in the Leviathan. And what I'm going to do is do one on the other side as well, quickly, while I remember. But yeah, unfortunately, it's really quite upsetting for me, because it is one of my favourite guns. Fortunately, I think I have a backup somewhere in one of my containers. I mean, I could have always stuffed it down there as well. But we're going to use this one. There we go. I don't actually remember whose build this is. I do need to check on the workshop whose build this one is. Oh, I'm out of Wi-Fi range, aren't I? You idiot! Okay, I'll sort that out a bit later. Yeah, I don't actually remember whose build this is. Does it say if I look at the Nexus Spacedock? It is built by... No, it just says NIS, so... I'll have a look. There will for certain be a link to it in the comments below. Sorry, in the comments, in the description below, because I try and link all the builds in the description below. So if there are any of the builds that you've seen in this Let's Play that you want to have a look at yourself or feel like you want to have a play around with, that's where to go, because they will be there. So I'll grab that one while I remember. And yeah, if I look in player weapons, I did find I have a brand new, because there's epic plasma rifle, but there is an epic EMP Pulse Rifle, which is for sure my favourite weapon. Now, before I wander off out of range of the Leviathan again, I need to get some O2 on the go so I can actually breathe in here, because I'm going to run out of air in a minute. There we go. Much better. And let's get some pentaxid in here as well. Where are your cores and pentaxid, please? There we go. There we go. And that means we can put the shields up. Shields are up. Excellent. And we'll turn on the oxygen. And actually, we'll go and manage that and top that oxygen off, because it's amazing how much it uses on that first bit. There we go. Then we won't run out of oxygen anytime soon. But there is oodles of storage here. But the beauty of putting Wi-Fi at either end is basically going to be that I can hopefully access the ship Wi-Fi, or sorry, access the base Wi-Fi very easily from within a ship. Unfortunately, it doesn't work the other way around, but that's the way it goes. That one, yes, thank you, perfect. And we'll turn the shields back on, please. Now, yeah, I don't think the solar panels are gonna produce enough. I'll be tempted to see if in between episodes I can add some solar panels to get that started. The other things are, most of the stuff is going to stay, most of the ships at the moment are going to stay on the Leviathan, because this really is just to be my sort of main sort of storage, my mainstay, so to speak. I need to go through and label a bunch of these. But what we'll probably do is am I still out of range? See, this is one of the problems of big bases. I am out of range. So what we'll do is we're gonna drop across a couple of those, because there's no way I need all of that. And take a bunch of that. Actually, that can stay on the Leviathan for now. And let's see. We might as well grab a bunch of that. But the other thing is, and I've just put that in the ammo controller, like a fool, he says. So the main aim here is just to start off by setting us up with some ammo in this base to cover its ass, really. It shouldn't need vast amounts, and actually I know in the input fridge I have a shed load of that, which I don't need. I also have, if you check the output fridge, we're starting to go crazy now. The vegetables have started coming through and we're really cooking on food, so we're going to have no shortage of food, even though we can grow an absolute massive amount here. So the main thing we'll want to do is I'm going to go up to constructor territory, because I'm going to need to actually set those up to the right place, and I'll probably set up some of the deconstructors doing some deconstruction work on some of all the stuff I've got. So we'll just go to the main controller now, and we'll go to the ammo, and we had flak and let's have a look. We had flak shells and 15mm. I don't think I've actually unlocked the flak yet. So let's have a quick look. Rocket turrets will unlock those, laser turrets will unlock those, artillery turrets will unlock those. We'll also unlock the T2 shield generator. I don't see flak. I'm sure flak's one of these though. Which one can do flak? I don't know. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I genuinely don't know. But it doesn't matter. You sir are going to make us base ammo flak shells. You need magnesium powder. That's the one thing I didn't transfer over. Again, like a fool. Yeah. So let's start you off with the 15mm rounds. You can start churning out, you know, a bunch of 15mm rounds. Let's start off with, I don't know, 150mm rounds. I mean, that will be 10,000. But you know, good ammo stocks are not to be sniffed at. I don't know how much that ammo container can hold actually. Yeah, 320. Good. That's plenty. Hang on. What level have I got to go to? This is my only problem. I'm going to get lost in my own ship. Leviathan is this way, he says? Or that way? That way. Sorry. I would love if this would actually connect into like the Galactic Trade Network and things like that. That would be quite cool. I've also seen Elion posting saying how far have any of us got in the Explorers Guild. Now, as I say, I don't know if that's a problem for me because of the fact this is an old save. Yeah, it's because I haven't named anything yet. Yeah, I don't know if it's because this is an old save that I've brought across from 1.5 that has not actually shown up anything yet, or whether it's something else, but I've had nothing from the Explorers Guild. So I'll be interested to know whether anyone who's started a new game recently has had that work differently for them. Because for me that's kind of been a big disappointment so far. But I'm not writing it off just yet, because it seems a little bit unfair to write it off at the moment. 100 would be... yeah, that should be fine. But yeah, it would seem a bit unfair to write it off without having tested it on a new save to see if I'm being like crap or something like that. So, you know, I'll be interested. I will start a new Let's Play. Well, as today, I believe, if my advanced recording and things are correct, today is Christmas. So I will say Merry Christmas to you all. And Merry Christmas to my base and Rachel and Raquel and everyone in here and Deconstruction Derek. We will yeah, jump off the edge. Yeah, we'll start a new save. Hopefully by that time 1.7 will have come out. We can see what these new water effects are like and see if the storyline has gone any further. My other mission will be very shortly to go out and see if I can take down that defense platform, and I think the Luark's out of my league without taking a big ship CV in, which I'd like to take the pickaxe in really to do that. Salvage operations, I think I might be able to have a pop at, so I'm hoping to have a go at these. I can't remember which one it was. One of these fired a lot of crap at me. I don't know if it was a Luark station or salvage operations. The defense satellite was fairly easy. One of them looks fairly easy, one of them looks a bit tougher. so we'll have to see. But I think that will be next episode, when we'll have a go at those and see what we can do. But that is the Nexus Spacedock, which I think is actually a really pretty nice looking base. It's not too heavy on resources, but it is huge. It's a little bit bigger than I would normally go for, but I think for this it's absolutely excellent. And with that, I'm going to wish you all a Merry Christmas, say thank you very much for watching, like and subscribe as always, give us a thumbs up, a Christmas thumbs up, and sub if you're not subbed already, and I'll say have a good one. See you next time.